So, happy Friday. How's everybody doing? How you feeling? What's going on?
Everyone?
How's your heart? How's your mind? How's life? We're here together
We're
for
here.
another Raw Talks. Yes.
I love it.
With my co-host Alyssa.
Favorite Fridays.
Favorite Fridays. There was a question early this week that we posted. Do you remember the question, Alyssa?
Yes. How does exercise and staying active help
Improve your mental
your
health.
mental health?
Yes.
Help improve your mental health.
Together we can do whatever. Yes. So we bought the fitness guru, the celebrity trainer, the go-getter, Miss Consistent.
Consistent. I like
Yeah,
that.
so
I like it.
I don't think you know, but maybe I told you like maybe a year or two ago. I got onto your page. I think I was on the Equinox, like places, like
Yeah, like the tags
location
or
and
whatever.
Encino.
Yeah,
I was like, who is this person? Like, you just kept posting videos,
Yeah.
but I didn't know you. And then eventually we did an event together.
Yeah.
And I met you. Like, oh, she's dope. She's a Virgo. She's this, she's that. She's cool.
Nice.
She recently just got engaged, so
I just got
congratulations.
engaged. Thank you. Shout out to Jared.
Jared, you're the man. But I think for me, what I like about you so much is that you're genuine, you're down to earth, but more importantly, you are consistent and you do train a lot of, great people. And this is your profession, this is your life. So before we get into like the original question, what got you into fitness and where did that all start and where did that come from?
Oh man, I've been through phases. I think every time I've been asked this question, my answer is different every time. Originally, it started with my mom. She struggled with her weight. Seeing her my entire life, like when I was a kid, and she has always been overweight. And just seeing her struggle, like I knew I didn't want to grow up and I hate to say it, but I didn't want to follow in her footsteps as far as like her health goes. So I kind of helped her. I made like a fake contract because I was only like at 15. Maybe I was like, I'm going to make you a fake contract. You're going to listen to me now instead of me listening to you. And it became this thing where she just started working out and eating right. And like the two things that people don't want to do because they're the hardest things is eat right and work out. She started doing those. Like she tried every diet. She tried everything that she could do. And she ended up losing 150 pounds just by doing.
Congrats, Mom.
Yes, congrats, Mom.
Congrats, Mom.
Yeah, so
You were 15?
yeah, I was like 15 because it was before I moved out here. I moved out here when I was 21, so it was a
Wow.
few years. I guess I was like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
It was a few years before I moved out to Los Angeles, and so that kind of was like what sparked this. Okay, I kind of like it. I like helping people. Like it was like, okay, now what do? You're done, so I have to move on to the next one.
Also, 150 pounds.
I know, 150
It's a
pounds.
whole person.
Put you on a Biggest
literally.
Loser or something. Put you on that show. Fire.
It's literally it's an entire person. So I helped her do that, and then when I moved out here, I became a trainer, and I worked at 24 Hour Fitness for a while. That was my first training gig, and I just fell in love with it, and I fell in love with helping people, and then I kind of, in a weird way, I kind of lost my motivation. Like, this was a few years ago, and it was kind of like, why am I doing what I do? And then I ended up having, my nephew was born, and he passed away at 6 months old from a metabolic condition. And it I kind of reevaluated my life, and it kind of remotivated me to be, okay, I do this for a reason. I help these people lose weight for a reason. I'm here to do something. I'm here to impact these people. And it kind of remotivated me because it's like, I have a nephew, passed away at 6 months old. He'll never be able to do the stuff that, work out or just be healthy or live, obviously. And that kind of re-motivated me to like continue to do what I do.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So, and now I'm here.
Yay! So, we're going to get into the question, but I want to go back to, helping your mom. Like, that's like dearly, and that's like in the moment, that's like intimate. That's your mom. Like, what was it for you? Was it the emotion part of, just being attached to her because she's your mom? Because, of course, you saw her where she was lacking or felt. How did you even get to that thought that you were going to help her? Did you work out? Were you an athlete? Like, were you trying to be a trainer then? Like, how did you even come up with that concept of a contract?
So like I danced my entire life.
Okay.
I grew up in dance, and I played sports. I mean, I have 4 brothers, so like it was sports activities every night. My mom, it was like fast food every night, just because we went from practice to practice to practice. And she kind of was the one that kind of wanted to lose weight. And like I said, seeing her when I was being raised, see her do every single different diet and blueprint your body and program and all this stuff that obviously it didn't work. And she's the one that kind of came to me. Her best friend had quadruple bypass surgery. And that was the thing that she was like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I can't live like this. I don't want that to be my future. So, it was, she kind of brought the idea to me, and she knew I was already into fitness because I've always been an athlete. And
no sport?
It was kind of like softball.
Okay.
Softball was my sport, but dance is obviously a sport too. So
okay.
dance and softball. But she brought the idea to me, and then I was like, you know what? Like, I know what I'm doing in the gym. Is at least I thought I did at 17 years old. I was like, oh, I got this. I'm the best. No. But that's kind of what she came to me and brought the idea to me, and then that was just kind of, happened. Like, it
powerful.
just, and I was like, okay, well, I want to be in charge. I want you to listen to me. I want to do this. So that's why I wrote up the contract and all that.
That's
so
smart. And I think when you're helping someone, because I think a form of helping someone, it could be considered being active.
Mm-hmm.
That is good for your mental health. Because I can
oh my gosh.
only imagine helping your mom lose that amount of weight did something for your mental. I mean,
Well,
you work out a lot
did.
too, Alyssa, right? Like, we work out. I'm a trainer, it makes you feel better when you're active.
Yeah, it's literally like, it's like night and day. And just seeing her feel the way that she felt, I mean, it was like, I don't know. I always told her when she lost all the weight, I told her, I was like, why couldn't you be this, or why couldn't you be this way when I was in high school? Because she was so mean. Like, she was like she was the one that was disciplined. You know, my dad, I had him wrapped around my finger, but my mom, like, she was literally the one that would, like, get us in trouble. So I always told her, I was like, you would have been a lot nicer if you were healthy when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So, but just seeing her feel the way that she felt after she lost the weight was so inspiring, and it was like, dang, like, this woman kicked ass for however long it took. It took her a few years, because the one thing she didn't want to do, she wanted to make sure that she was able to maintain the weight, like keeping the weight off. So she didn't want to just lose it all overnight and then gain it all back. So it was a process. Like, it was a full-on process for more than, probably was like 3-4 years. And it helped her in the long run to actually learn why she's doing certain stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think just by teaching her why we do certain stuff in the training world and why we do certain stuff when it comes to eating right or working out, it prolonged her way of, okay, I can maintain this and I could do this myself. Because us as trainers, like, we don't want you to be with us forever. We want you to take our skills, take them from us, learn, and move on and do it yourself and be able to inspire others, you know? So I don't know, it's kind of like a pay it forward thing. Like, we want you to take this, our skill, learn why you're doing certain stuff, and then pay it forward and move on and do it yourself.
I think that's important. I think one thing you also said was, Mom, if you were healthy, you wouldn't be angry to me. Now, do you think that's a direct correlation with most people that's not working out or in shape, that because they have negative emotions, because they lack active movement or exercise? Do you think that like enhances that? Like, if you don't work out, then it puts you in such a different mood.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
like,
I completely agree with that, and I think that, because it's all, and I know that we're talking about like mental health and like how fitness and health and wellness can improve that, but like, think about it. If you are so set in your ways of not being healthy, and then you work out, your friend begs you to go to the gym one time, and you get like a taste of it. Mm-hmm. You get a taste of it, and it's like a tease, like that. I actually feel really good now that I'm done, you know, and you get a taste of it, but then you go back because your routine is so set in, I don't work out, don't want anything to do with it, better than that, I'm good, it's too much work. Then you get mad at yourself, and it becomes a snowball effect of constantly putting yourself down and constantly having negative thoughts, and the more negative thoughts you have, the more they're going to live inside you. So it's like, what's that saying, as long as you feed the beast will continue to stay alive. As long as you feed those negative thoughts and feed into that, then it's going to continue to be there. And you're going to continue to crave negative thoughts, because that's what your body wants, and that's what your body's used to doing. So I think it's a snowball effect, and I definitely think that if you're not healthy and you know you're not healthy, it's really, really hard to allow yourself to be positive and have a positive mindset.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because it's like your wall is up and you don't see on the other side of the wall, and the other side of the wall can bring so much positive, but you don't even want to get over that wall because you're already set in your ways.
So you're saying like a lack of physical movement or being active promotes your mental health to be the way you don't want it to be.
Yeah.
The negativity, the negative thoughts, the self-doubt, to just bad relationship with yourself. What do you think for someone who didn't grow up like athletic, family really wasn't into like exercise or fitness, or like when I was 17, before basketball games, I'm eating McChickens and double cheeseburgers.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I didn't know what I should and shouldn't eat.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you're like, that's
I'm gonna have a turkey burger, some French fries.
She brought us chicken nuggets today.
Yeah, exactly. You got that 20 piece or whatever.
So what do you do with a person like that, or a group of people who just really don't know?
Yeah.
Like exercise is not priority. Like being healthy and in shape is not mandatory. But your family loves you. You go to school. You have a job. Like you're okay. Like there's nothing wrong because everyone in your environment is eating or feeding your body with the same nutrients or whatever.
I think so. I grew up in Kansas, which
Go Jayhawks.
Go Jayhawks. KU,
Chiefs.
Rock
Go Chiefs.
Shot. Yes, go Chiefs.
Patrick
for
Mahomes,
sure.
that guy's
Royals,
good.
Everything. Yeah. I grew up in Kansas. I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere. It's the 8th fattest city in the world.
What?
8th fattest city in the world.
Yeah, what's the first?
I don't know. I just knew where's Topeka, Kansas on this because it has to be
If
on
somebody
the list.
knows, let us know.
Yeah, let us know what the number one. And it could have changed. This was like 3 years ago. Maybe Kansas got healthier. But anyway, I grew up in Kansas, and there isn't a lot of, I mean, fast food. That's what we ate like every single day. And so I didn't grow up in hey, let's eat at home every single night. I can count on one hand how many times we ate at home within a month, and that's sad because I would have loved to eat at home more and all that, but I also didn't know, like, to be honest, sorry mom and dad, didn't really know that vegetables didn't come from a can. Like, I literally didn't really know the produce section because we didn't really have green beans. They come from a can, right? Like stuff like that. So I'm not saying I wasn't educated at all on what's healthy and what's not, because I did play sports and I was active. However, I did have and grew up around plenty of people that didn't really see that as a priority. So I think the older you get, you start to see these trends of like what's healthy and what's not. And that could really, I guess, put into perspective where, like, what you should be doing throughout your life to have a healthy lifestyle and live, obviously, in a healthier way.
I think too, people always associate like working out with the physical part and not the mental part. And
100%.
And heck yeah, it's physical. Like, I do it because it's physical, but I do it because it's mental. Like, that's, if bad day, good day, I have a good day because I went to a 6 a.m. class. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's a whole mindset. Like, everything, I feel like it's so incredibly mental, but some people don't see it like that. Who don't work out, they don't see it like that initially, until you get in there and you feel it and you're like, wow, I feel happier. Like, my body feels better. Like, it's an effect.
Yeah. And it's all about the feeling. I think sometimes people go into it like, I want to look like this. I want an 8-pack. I want pecs. I want this. I want that. And it's like, that's great.
Yep.
But it's all about how you feel. Because you can have a perfect body and feel like shit on the inside. Like, seriously. And that goes back to the mind. How you mentally feel about yourself. So I try to tell people, go to the gym to not only be healthy and get in shape, but so you can feel different. Because people don't know. Or maybe they do. They just never looked at it like this. When you work out consistently, like this school and you, both of you women are very active.
Yes, go us.
What happens is you're increasing your vibration, the energy within your body, right? So on a higher vibration, you're going to feel better, you're going to attract better things, and you're going to think a different way. But most people are not looking at it like that. They're looking at fitness like, oh, I can never get abs like that. I can never run that fast. I was like, it's not about that. It's about ultimate feeling good, thinking good, and being good. And if you take that approach and have that intention, then you'll look at fitness or exercise or being active a different way. You're not doing it to have the best looking body or be better than the next person. You're doing it so you can feel good and promote a positive mental health.
Yeah.
What do
you're releasing too.
Yeah, you're releasing.
You're releasing. So like,
they say motion changes emotion. You know, some days I wake up, I might feel heavy. Like, I'll meditate, I'll pray, but after that run or that little bit of pumping the weights, I feel a lot more better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
and
it's
you
important.
could also say like, because some people aren't going to go to a gym.
Yeah.
And but training a trainer is expensive. I mean,
Yeah.
or a group fitness class is expensive somewhere or something like that. But just getting outside, like I tell my
nature.
mom, like our moms, like same thing. My mom is like, oh, my back hurts, so I can't work out. And it's like, no, that's so far off. And I try and get her back on track, but I'm like, you live in Florida, you can, if you have to, you can drive to the beach and walk the beach in the morning. Like, what that will do for you in itself is incredible. Like, your environment is already like absolutely beautiful. So that's one thing that's gonna just like set it off.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's things that you can do that you don't have to pay to get a workout. There's like here, we're here in LA, so there's lots to do, like the Culver City stairs and stuff.
Absolutely.
Oh, those ones are hard.
Yeah, I mean, or just any stairs, any stairs, anywhere.
Doesn't
Go
matter.
up and down them.
Anywhere, anyhow,
Anytime.
get it in the house. I mean, I think she got like an online program.
I do.
You
It's
know,
all body
why didn't you bring the
bands.
bands?
I'm sorry.
Bring the
I
bands.
know,
We could be
I
doing the
know.
workout right now.
Right
Active,
here.
you know, right here.
As we sit here.
There
I'm
you
just
go.
like, yes.
So training clients. What is it that you think is the most challenging, or the challenges that most clients face? I think for me, it's they really don't like cardio, and depending on like their their professional or their career, maybe might have a lot of business meetings, they're out eating, and they're not as disciplined when it comes to nutrition, depending on their age and what they do. So what is your challenge for your clients?
I mean, I think we just kind of touched on it, because like we had said, it's a mental thing. And a lot of my clients, it's like, if they're not looking a certain way within weeks, they're like, I'm
It's
good.
not working.
Like, it's not working.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I give up.
Yeah.
And it's a constant reminder for me to tell them, like, we're not training you from the outside in, we're training you from the inside out. And just by training someone from the inside out, it doesn't matter training physically or training mentally, it doesn't matter. If you train your mind from the inside out, then the rest will come. It'll fall into place. Like, you just have to trust the process. And so I think their biggest challenge is, besides cardio, is just being okay with where they're at right now, because of the benefits of where they're gonna be someday.
Yeah.
Not just physically, but
time.
It's
mentally.
a process.
Yeah.
It's a process, and a lot of the time I get so many people that just don't know how to trust that process, because they've either failed in the past, or their process has been terrible in the past, or they've been on the wrong path and they were on the wrong process. So it wasn't really, they weren't making any progress. And so that's like, why trust now? Why should I do this now for myself when it didn't work in the past? So trusting the process is probably the biggest challenge for anybody and everybody, including my clients and myself. Like, it's a me thing too. It's not just trainers need trainers. Believe me, it's hard. It's not. I promise you, it's not easy for
I have a
us.
question. So like, when you're training somebody, and I kind of know how you are already, but like, when you're actually like one-on-one with them, do you do specific things to get them right, like mentally too, not just physically? Like, are there certain things you do?
So the biggest thing in training is you have to understand that you are their therapist, and if you go in putting my problems on them, we're going to get nothing out of it. We're not going to accomplish anything. But just listen, just be a listening ear, and just let them open up to you and listen. Like, let them vent, let them kind of put everything on you. And it's like, if you can handle that, and if you could just be there, don't try and say all the perfect things. It's like in any conversation with a friend. Like, you don't want to sit there and just keep talking to talk. You want to be able to listen too. And with training, you have to be able to listen and kind of gauge your client off of that. At least that's what I do. I kind of gauge them with like what kind of day they're having, just by talking to them and being open with them just as much as they're open with you. So yeah, there's not like, okay,
and everybody's different as well.
Yeah.
Like,
some
you
people,
you're like a you say
What do you do?
things.
I'm very like, I can feel what they need from me. So
Okay.
I know what words to say, what conversations to have, and I know how to make them think about something in a different way. Because some of my clients might come to the gym and the only thing on their mind is their business.
Yeah.
their head is wrapped around their business and their stress and this, and one client might be over drinking at night because he's been. So what I try to do is like, well, how do you want to feel? You know, what do you want from this? Take away all that. Like, how do you want to feel right now? And or, you know, if I have older clients, they're like, well, I'm getting old. I was like, yeah, but that can always be an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember 2 weeks ago when you made that business deal, you wasn't feeling the same.
Yeah.
So the mental does affect your body. The way you feel about your life, how you feel about what's going on. So I take an emotional approach. I listen to what they're really saying. Like, you got to listen to the listening. Like, what are you really saying?
Yeah, like that's
You know, it's deeper than just what they're
Yeah.
saying. It's like, oh, so you're saying that, okay, so you need this. Okay, I can't really do I can't really do the abs today. I was like,
I can't really do those 50 burpees that you want me to do. Oh, yes, you can. Let's go.
Oh, so you trying to cop out.
Yeah.
All right, bro, we gonna go do, how about we just do these then? And then it's like, or sometimes, you know, it's perception. You get a new client and, you know, you're like, oh man, don't hurt me. And I'm like, why would you think I'm gonna hurt you? Like, because it's perception. I was like, no, we're gonna take baby steps, you know, one day at a time. And like every day is different. But I try to take an emotional approach. I ask the right questions. And then once I feel like, okay, they're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Like, he want me to push him harder. She need a little push. She's stressing over work, or, you know. So it's like a therapist.
Yeah.
Like, you really trying to figure out. And then it's funny with some of my clients, it just really becomes like, we're learning from each other. It's weird. Like, you're telling me about something, I'm telling you about something, but yet we're training. It's crazy. But you get to know them on a deeper level, and I think that's where the trust and the bond gets built. And all my clients become like my friends, like like really close.
Yeah.
Like, they're like friends for like, I mean, that's how I met Sherry. Like, I was training Ty, and then I trained Sherry, and it's like, now we're here at BE R.A.W.
Yeah.
You know, talking about fitness and mental health. So, you know, but I think it's very important just to move your body. You got to shake up those emotions, and a lot of times you got to control your environment.
Yeah.
What energy are you in every day? Maybe you're taking on somebody else's energy or burden. Maybe your relationship that you're in is not helping the relationship with yourself. And I think we don't challenge certain things the way we feel. We're just like, oh, it's fine. I'll just push it down and just keep going. Like, no, that's a mental signal that you need to pay attention to, like, how you feel. Maybe you have a gut problem, you're not digesting food properly, or maybe you're sweating when you shouldn't be sweating. Like, what is that? And I think because we're on autopilot and we're always working and we're trying to do this and do that we don't think about those things. Because in our mind, it's not priority. We got to pay the bills, we got to take care of the kids, we got to get things done. Sometimes you got to take a pause for the cause and just really understand, what do you really want from yourself? What do you want from life? You know, people are having panic attacks out here. And I'm like, man, and, you know, 20s, 30s, and like, what really is it? And I think social media, we're exposed to more things. How we feel about ourselves, we're constantly comparing. So I do think in this phase of life, physical fitness and being active does promote positive mental health, and you need it. Because I try to think, what would I do without fitness or playing basketball growing up? It was an outlet. It kept me out of trouble, kept me focused. But what if I didn't have that? What would I do, and who would I be?
I know when I was younger, like for a younger group of kids, if anybody's watching, like I would like dance in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
When I was like young, like a little girl.
Yeah.
Like early teens, because I wasn't at like, I joined Gold's Gym I think when I was like 15, but I was like working there, so I was like could do little workouts and stuff. But like when I was young, I was like just like dancing around in the mirror. You know, Olga and, like, well actually you don't know,
Olga.
Olga and I, we dance. We end our day, like we put on a song to end our day, and we dance around the office just to like, it's like a vibe. It's like, okay, the day's over, let's release, and like it puts us in a good mood, and then we're out. But it's just those small little movements. So even if people aren't going and like getting in the hardcore workout or something, it's just doing something. Like a lot of people sit in an office chair all day, and you know, like there's a lot of people who have jobs like that where they're sitting all day, and it's like you gotta just like take a solid walk. Even if like lunch break, or like at the end of your day, or like in the morning before you start things, like you just got to do something, some type of movement, even if it's not like a full physical workout. I mean, we're a little over the top, but just some sort of movement.
Yeah.
So Becca, how do you encourage or motivate someone who's really not active to get active? Like, what is the trigger to get someone to move their body to improve their overall well-being? If you met them for the first time, or they're having troubles, what would you do?
So one question I always asked my clients after meeting them for the first time was, I always go back to their why, because it doesn't matter who you are or what you do or how much fitness you've done in your life. There's a why for everything. Like, why are you wanting to get fit? Why is it taking so long? Why do you feel like you failed? Why do you feel like you can't do this? Why do you feel like you can do this?
Yeah.
Always figure out the why. Always ask yourself why. And if you lose sight of that, kind of ground yourself, come back to that moment, and come back to the day that you decided, I want to be fit, and ask yourself, why did I want to be fit, and is that still relatable, and is that still something that is it still relevant?
Yeah.
And if it's not, let's figure out a different why. So I think that's the biggest question to motivate someone that is not ready to like take it on. And even if they're not ready right then and there, allow them time to remind themselves why they're doing this. Yeah. And they'll come back. They'll know that it's like, okay, I have to do this for myself. Yeah. So, yeah.
You know the funny thing about, it's going to be a little funny, but with some guys who are not really active, or they don't really promote physical health or whatever, you notice something different in a guy when he gets a girlfriend.
Oh.
If he has a girl, that's like... So I also think sometimes...
They're like, okay, what do I need to do? I gotta look good. Gotta look good.
Or it's just like... So I also want to ask, like, you know, you're engaged now. I don't know how long you've been with Jared, but like, far as like, you're the trainer. I don't know what he does for work, or just in general. Like, how do you feel about being in a relationship with someone and say they're active, but not as active as you are? Like, how do you have that conversation? Because I have female friends out here who are in relationships with, you know, husbands or boyfriends, and they're like, he don't work out. I got him a membership, and you know, and I'm like, why doesn't he work out? It's like, I don't know, but I don't know what to say. And I'm like, that could be tough.
Yeah.
So how do you have that conversation and be diplomatic, and like, what is the conversation? Like, if you want someone that you're close to, it could be like a brother or sister. Like, how do you get them to, other than a why?
So with my fiance Jared, I met him at Equinox. I met him at the gym. Okay. So that conversation was never a thing, because he's always been into his health.
See, you can find love at the gym.
Exactly. Yes. Like, don't hate on it, because it can happen. No, so with him, I don't really, like, I don't think that's relevant, just because like we've never really had to have that conversation. However, we do want to keep each other in check, and we do want to make sure, like, hey, we're doing this because we want to live longer. We want to be there for our kids as long as we can. We want to be healthy. We want to stay active. There's all these benefits to doing this, so we got to make sure that we kind of stay on each other. And it's nice because he's not in the fitness industry, but he is into fitness. So we kind of hold each other accountable. Yeah. However, I do have 4 brothers, like I said. And like I said, I was raised in Kansas. The motivation to get fit and the whys, they don't matter. So as far as my brothers go, it's, I think just by me doing me, because I will admit, when I first moved out to Los Angeles, I've always been into health and fitness, but I used to go back to Kansas to visit my family, and I used to preach to them. Don't drink that. Don't eat that. That's bad for you. Why are you doing that? And it became this thing where they dreaded me coming home. Yeah. And I didn't know that, because that's just how I worked. That's just what I did. That was my lifestyle. And so I would go home, and it became this thing where it's like, well, are you going to tell us what to eat? Are you going to do this? And I became this like robotic health and fitness. Like, that's not okay. That's not healthy for any relationship, whether it's your boyfriend, husband, wife, brother, sister, mom, dad, doesn't matter. That's a very toxic way of thinking about it. So instead of me going and I guess giving them a hard time about what they're eating or what they're not eating or drinking or whatever, or what they're doing, I just kind of did me. And if you kind of focus on yourself and live in your truth as far as like being healthy, it really is contagious. And just by going home, and whether or not they're going to lose weight or feel better or whatever, just by them opening up a little bit more each time, like, why do you eat that? I love when people say, someone says, why do you eat that? Why do you do that? Because I want to feed I want to fuel my body with what it needs to crave and what it wants. And that's health and, you know, and wellness and all that. So I think if they don't have a why, or if they kind of have misplaced their why, it's good to just kind of know that as long as you kind of stay in your lane, they will come around and kind of start to open up and ask questions.
My dad, when I was home, I was drinking kombucha, and he'll like they're pretty healthy, but they'll eat things with like preservatives and canned stuff and like whatever. So I used to do the same thing, be like, well, you should have this instead of that, but there's this alternative, and it's annoying. It's annoying. Like my dad and my brothers are like, you're annoying. So I'm drinking kombucha, my dad's like, what's that? And I was like, oh, it's like a soda. It's like bubbly. He tried it, and he was like, it's kind of good. But like I didn't say anything to him about it, and I was like, you know what? It's healthy too. It's actually good for this, this, and this. And he's like, oh, okay. Like, but I didn't. I was just drinking, like you said.
Yeah.
I just think, I've done that. Go home preaching, I'm dictating. You shouldn't, and it's like it doesn't work, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the problem that I have with friends, family, people I'm close to, it's like you know that I know that certain things you probably shouldn't eat or you shouldn't overindulge in. But then on the back end, you're gonna come for some information or some help. But I've been telling you the whole time, like, so I have 3 sisters, and I can be hard on my sisters.
We're opposite. We have brothers.
So I'm like the man of the family, the house, whatever. And so they always say, never ask a woman her age, never ask her weight. And I'm like, okay, but what does that mean? At the end of the day, like, I care about you, I love you. Like, what's up? Like, why are we not working out? Why are we not taking care of our body? Why are you cutting your hair? Your hair is long. Like, these are the conversations I have with, some women in my family. And it's not even like, I want you to be super fit and healthy. I just want you to know that as you get older, things do change in your body, and you want to be able to take care of it properly because you don't know. But it also, I think it's hard for me because I'm not there in Baltimore. I'm in LA, and so I am leading by example. I am working out, but it's more like, oh, that's just Eden. He's always been like that since he was a kid. So it's like they put me in this whole other box of like, oh, that's just him. He's just different.
Just let him do his thing.
So it's like they're not like, they're inspired, but it's like, we can't do what you do. And I'm like, but it's not about that. It's just about like I told a friend last night, I was like, bro, I just want you to be stable. I don't care what you do. I just want you to be stable and be okay and have your mental health and well-being all together. But it's hard because I guess it is a selfish thing to want someone else to be healthy and be on it. But I care about you. You're my presence.
Well, and that's the thing. You care about people, so you're gonna try and like
give them
the best information.
If I'm over here getting sluggish and getting fat, you better be checking me like, hey,
what are you doing?
What's up? I told my manager like 3 years ago, I said, bro, you got a beer belly, bro. You gotta get rid of that. You gotta get rid of that.
Like, you want to talk about it?
Yeah. And he lost like 30 pounds. I was like, you look cut, like you're in shape, like you're playing ball again. Like, but that's the impact I like to have on people and vice versa. I want to learn from someone that I'm close to. Like. And I think that's what life is really about, accountability. Like, if I'm around you all the time 100%. And you see me doing something that's not right or just disrespectful to myself, I think, check me. Like, don't spare me. Some people won't because they don't want confrontation, but I'm like, nah, we can't do that. Because then you're condoning that behavior in your presence. What else are you going to condone? So,
by example.
Mental health is important. Staying active is important. Having good people around you. And just really, really understanding your why. And what you really want from yourself. Because I think a lot of times it's general. I want to get married. I want to graduate from college. I want a good paying job with benefits. I want a relationship. Like, all those things are general. Like, what do you really want? Or people like, I want to help people. Like, everybody wants to help people. What does that look like? Is it fitness? Is it motivation? Is it social worker? Is it teacher? Is it soccer coach? I don't know. So I think if we can kind of get down to the nit and gritty of what it is that we really want to do, maybe we don't know. But that's okay. Once you just keep asking the question, you'll get the answer. Because we got everything we need within us. We just don't know how to tap in sometimes. Because maybe we're not as active or open to being active. And granted, I don't know what the weather like in Kansas. I can only imagine in Baltimore, it's cold. No one is really going to the gym January, February, December, like that.
Well,
at least not like in LA.
And that's kind of where like apps and online workouts and little videos and stuff.
And I was in New Orleans. They didn't even have no fitness center downtown where I was staying 3 weeks ago.
Where?
Like, New Orleans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, that's where I was staying. I didn't see too many. those spots. So some neighborhoods and environments don't have it.
Yeah.
Now they got Planet Fitness in the hood, LA Fitness, 24-hour. But those things really dictate someone's future, because growing up in Baltimore, we had rec centers, but we didn't have gymnasiums. I played basketball. You had carryouts, you had liquor stores, you had fast food. There was no Starbucks. There was no Panera Bread. There was no Chipotle's. Not saying that they're the healthiest, but it's better than McDonald's and Burger King and Checkers, which we had in carryout.
Checkers had food like that?
Huh?
Checkers had like a food court?
No, what I'm just saying, like,
oh, you just mean like
I'm
groceries.
talking about in growing up. Checkers, the fast food spot.
No.
You ever heard of them?
No,
Yeah.
our
Fast
Checkers
food.
was a grocery store.
No. This Checkers is fast food.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed out on that one. We didn't have that.
So, and it makes me think, like, now that I'm older, like, wow, look what we're exposed to, and you don't even know what's not good or what is good for you, because your environment is dictating your body, your mind, how you see the world, what you become. Like, growing up with a lot of male negative influences, I could have easily been that, because that's all I see or saw at the time. But I played ball. Ball was, but anyway, make a long story short, I think your environment is very important for your mental health.
I agree.
And the people you surround yourself with, the people you look up to. Because if your dad, uncle, aunt, cousin if they're not into fitness or being healthy, why would you be? When you're 7, 8 years old, you don't know better. And so I think that also, some people suffer because of their environment, and some people just don't care because, and then you have some people who are fit their whole life. I don't gotta work out. I had girls I used to date. I'm naturally fit. My body.
Lucky.
Years go on, and you're like, that front end catch up to the back end, and all that work you wasn't putting in, you got to think about that now.
And like we said, it's not just about the
Yeah.
physical.
Yeah.
It's about the mental.
The mental,
Too.
and how you feel about yourself.
Yep. And just to touch on that too, like when it comes to like social media, I think that plays a huge role, because like we said, it's a mental thing. So if you're going online to get motivation, but you're sitting there and you're thinking like, oh, I just wish I could be skinny like her, or I wish I could do what she does, I wish I could have her lifestyle. That's not mentally going to make you any better.
Yeah.
That's not mentally going to make you motivated to go work out or go, be in a positive mindset. Like if you're going on there, I guess all I'm trying to say is just keep yourself in check as far as like what pages you follow. If you're following pages for like a hate follow, and you're just following pages to wish that you had that lifestyle, or wish you could travel the world and look like that, then maybe those aren't the best pages to put you in the best mindset to mentally be okay and mentally motivate yourself. So I think that plays
and
a
I
big
think
role too.
also perceiving people based off what you see and not what you know.
Yeah.
So I had my aunt several times. My aunt, she said, well, look at you, nephew, you're in shape. I was like, yeah. I said, but I work out. I go hard.
And that's the thing.
Like, so people think like, oh, but I'm like, no, I'm in the gym going hard. Like, I'm running sprints. Like, I'm doing, like, I'm working out. I'm not just
posting
like,
all that.
I'm not just showing up like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, you're consistent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it shows. So people just assume like, oh, because a person looks a certain way that they're not putting in work. Like, no, I'm putting in extra work. I'm getting up early in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm 5 to maybe 6 days a week. I gotta do events. I gotta do boot camps. So mentally, I have to be fit. Because I gotta put on for people. I gotta be available. I gotta be present.
Yeah.
And sometimes people just don't even see that. They just like, oh, but come on, you play sports, you're an
It's so
athlete.
easy for you.
So it's not. I'm in there going hard in the paint. Like,
Yeah.
I'm older now. I'm not 22 anymore. 31. So body is different.
Yeah.
So I just think, don't get caught up in what you see thinking that's the truth for everybody, because it's not. Even people who are highly successful, who might have money, they go through so many things you would never think about.
Because they'll never post it.
They'll never post it, and you'll never see it. So don't think because someone has something that you want or you don't think you can have that they're not suffering, because they are, just in a different way. But
You only post what you want people to see.
there it is. That's why social media is not real life.
That's
See if what
right.
people got it. What they saying on here. Your body in some sense really determines who you become, because how I raised, the things I experienced, and my lack of motivation due to my environment caused me to become obese when I graduated high school. Wow. To make a career, I had to leave my environment, isolate myself, lose all the weight, to join the army. Wow. What did you do in the military?
You were?
Yeah.
Really?
What else? Hi. Yeah. I think that's it for that. anything else you want to share to the people watching, Becca?
Cliche as it sounds, but take this to heart. Like, just stay honest, stay true. Yeah. I mean, especially now with the way that social media is and how life is and everything that's thrown at us and everything we have available to us, just stay true and make sure you let your heart shine and overpower your sense of wanting to be like somebody else.
Be yourself. Be the best version of yourself. You know, Alyssa? We talked about that earlier today, didn't we?
Never ever let self-doubt overshadow your self-confidence.
And where could people follow all this motivation and inspiration?
Well,
and,
let me tell you. So my Instagram page is at Rebecca Brocksfit.
Brocksfit. How do you say the last name again? Because I got to
Okay, so my last name is Brocksterman.
Brocksterman.
But I wasn't trying to be Rebecca Brocksterman with the weird last name on Instagram. So I was Rebecca Brocksfit, so people knew that it was
Brocks. RB, what up, baby?
Yeah, so Brocksfit. Rebecca Brocksfit is Instagram, and then also, what else do I have? I have bands, mini bands. I don't know if you guys.
Bands will make her dance.
Bands will make you dance. And those are found at BE.R.A.W. If that's confusing, just go to my Instagram page, Rebecca Brocksfit, and it's all in the bio and stuff.
So what's next for you? Like, what do you got next?
So I have more products coming out soon, and then I don't know what's next. Like, this motivates me.
Yeah,
I don't know what's next.
She said she was camera shy.
That's right.
I don't believe that.
I still am camera
Look
shy.
at her.
I am.
She's killing it. First,
But this just goes to show, like, if your environment's comfortable, you're more motivated to say good things and do yourself a favor and talk to people
and inspire others.
And inspire. My motto: be inspired to inspire. Like, if you guys can do that, then you'll be all right.
Stay inspired.
Yeah.
Stay active. Do something. Get out and do something, because it's not just about the physical. It's about the mental.
Yep.
Do everything.
Thanks
Don't
for
be
having
crazy.
me. Yeah, exactly.
Have a great day.
Yes.
Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Love yourself.
Friday.
And just enjoy the moment. You know, life is good when you're in the moment, because you can't get to the future without the moment. So stay in the now. Be great. Rebecca Brocksterman. Brocksmith. Thanks for coming to the B.E.R.A.W. headquarters. Raw Talks. Follow us. Join B.E.R.A.W. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We on. We off. We was on. Now we off. And we see you guys next week. And follow her.
Yes.
I call her Miss Consistent. I just coined that today. Miss Consistent.
I like it. I'm going to change my Instagram to just Miss
Just hashtag Miss Consistent.
Yes. That's
Brocksfit.
it.
Believe that. Y'all be out. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Bye.